In a world that often teaches us to protect ourselves, vulnerability can feel risky, even dangerous. But when it comes to love, vulnerability is not weakness. It is the gateway to deeper connection, trust, and intimacy. It is what moves us from performance into presence, from perfectionism into truth. Without vulnerability, love remains a transaction. With it, love becomes a transformation. We begin to offer not just the best parts of ourselves, but the real parts. The parts that ache, the parts that long to be held, the parts that say, "Here I am. Can you meet me here?" And that is where something sacred begins. Vulnerability does not just invite love, it reveals whether the space you are in can truly hold it. I am Zane, a relationship consultant and psychologist. Let's dive deep, my dear ones. Number 1. Vulnerability is the root of real connection. When you share your true feelings, fears, hopes, or past wounds, you allow someone to see the real you. This level of openness creates a powerful emotional bridge. Stop hiding behind roles or appearances. You step into truth, into risk, into honesty. The real connection does not come from perfection. It comes from being seen in your imperfections and still being loved. And that kind of seeing, that deep witnessing, can only happen when you drop the mask. When you say, "This is me, not the polished version, but the full one," in that space of revealing, intimacy becomes possible, not forced, not fabricated, but organic. It is where soul meets soul, not just story meets story. Number 2, it builds emotional intimacy. Saying things like, "I am scared to lose you," "I have been hurt before," or "This matters to me," invites your partner into your inner world. That invitation builds emotional safety and trust. You are no longer performing, you are revealing. And that kind of revealing, when met with kindness, becomes the glue that holds intimacy together. You are not alone in your feelings anymore. You are held. And that kind of holding is what allows love to deepen, because intimacy is not made in the moments where everything feels perfect. It is made in the moments where truth is spoken and honored, where discomfort is met with curiosity, where the words "I did not know that about you" become a doorway, not a dead end. Number 3, vulnerability invites reciprocity. When you open up, it often encourages others to do the same. Your courage gives them permission to be real too, creating a deeper, more balanced dynamic. It becomes less about who is in control and more about who is being honest. Vulnerability is contagious in the best way. It invites the people around you to exhale, to stop pretending, to step into their own truth. And when both people are doing that, you create a relationship built on something real. Not power, not games, but mutual presence. It becomes a shared rhythm, a language where both people say, "You are safe here." It's that shared safety can turn ordinary moments into holy ground. Number 4, it helps you love without armor. Walls may keep out pain, but they also keep out joy. Vulnerability says, "I am willing to risk being hurt, so I can fully experience love." It is a choice to remain open, even after you have been bruised. It is the decision to stop letting fear run the show, and that is not naive, it is brave. It is the bravery of saying, "I want something real, even if it means I might bleed a little getting there," because love cannot reach a heart that is armored. It can only reach a heart that is available. Availability requires risk. It requires the kind of faith that says, "Even if this ends, I want to know I showed up fully." That is not recklessness. That is maturity wrapped in hope. Number 5, it reduces shame and insecurity. When you express your insecurities and are met with compassion, shame begins to lose its grip. You realize you do not have to be perfect to be loved. You do not have to hide your story. You begin to understand that love is not reserved for the flawless, it is reserved for the honest. Vulnerability is the antidote to shame. It takes what has been hidden and brings it into the light. And in the light, healing begins. You are no longer defined by your wounds, you are seen through them. And that kind of seeing softens the most guarded parts of us. It allows us to breathe where we once held our breath, to hope where we once only survived. It is the slow exhale that whispers, "Maybe I am not too much after all." Number 6, vulnerability isn't oversharing. It's intentional sharing. Being vulnerable does not mean telling everyone everything. It means sharing the right things with the right people at the right time. It is not impulsive, it is intentional. Healthy vulnerability is rooted in emotional intelligence and self-awareness. You learn who has earned access to your truth, and you give it not as a cry for attention, but as an offering of intimacy. You learn that just because you feel something does not mean you owe it to everyone, but it does mean you owe it to yourself to not hide forever. You become discerning, not closed, open, not exposed. Because boundaries do not block vulnerability, they hold it with wisdom. Number 7. It deepens love over time. As relationships mature, it is vulnerability. It's just attraction that sustains them. It keeps conversations meaningful, trust alive, and love evolving. Without vulnerability, relationships become routine, predictable, emotionally flat. But with it, they stay alive, tender, curious. You continue to discover each other, not just through shared experiences, but through shared truths. You keep showing up with honesty. And honesty, when met with love, becomes intimacy's most loyal companion. This is where passion deepens into purpose. Where chemistry finds its anchor, it's where love, rather than fading, starts to take root in something lasting. Opening your heart can feel scary, but if you want deeper love, vulnerability is the price of admission and the most beautiful part of the journey. It is not easy, but it is worth it, because the love that lasts is the love that is real. Real love can only grow in the soil of truth. Vulnerability is not for the faint of heart. It is for the ones who want love to mean something. For those who know that armor keeps you lonely, that the real risk is not being hurt, it's never being truly known. So open your heart, speak your truth. Let the love that meets you there be the kind that stays. Have you ever experienced love that deepened through vulnerability? Or struggled to open up because of fear? Share your thoughts in the comments. In the next episode on STR TV, we will talk about authentic love, creating deeper connections by embracing your true self. Subscribe to STR TV and remember, openness is not a weakness. It is the beginning of everything beautiful.